to some extent, and happy Tuesday, everyone.
Yeah, happy Tuesday. Good to be back.
Ben, how was your weekend?
It was interesting. I wouldn't call it a normal weekend. Did a few interesting things. I'd say first one I did was I voluntarily walked up like 3,000 stairs.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure why, but that's something people do out here in Colorado. Is this?
Well, it's like a known thing. It's called the incline.
Yeah, and it's cool. Yeah, it's pretty much a staircase. Like you're walking up any building that steep, but up a mountain.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like 3,000 steps. And I want to say it's like 2,000 feet of elevation gain. You go from like 6 to 8, or it's like 7 to 9,000 in 3,000 steps, which is like, it starts out like this, and then it just goes, and you're pretty much like crawling up the stairs almost.
Crawling?
Like I had
hands are on the ground?
Like I had to put my hands on the ground a few times.
Actually?
Yeah. That's because I don't think my legs were strong enough.
See, I feel like, and I didn't do it, I was disinvited. But I feel like stairs might be easier for some people who enjoy hiking, but hiking can be rough on your feet and your muscles. You know, with the ground kind of uneven, surfaces, rocks falling. So in my mind, stairs could be a better alternative for people that still want to hike, but, you know, don't love the falling rocks or uneven surfaces, or I don't know.
Yeah, it was cool. Yeah, I can see why people do it.
Yeah.
It was interesting because it was very like you feel like very accomplished after you're done. I'm
sure.
But it's also like you look at it and you're like you look at this big staircase that goes straight up a mountain and you're like, why am I doing this? Like, this is so dumb. So how did you feel after? I felt great after. I'm like, alright, I felt accomplished. And you see some people, like I think it took me, and I did it with Nolan, like an hour-ish to get all the way up. But it takes, like, some really good athletes could do it in like 30 minutes.
Oh my god.
Yeah, which is really quick. And then you have other people that, like, obviously take their time and stuff like that. And then there's two options to get back down. You could either just take, like, the trail back down, or you just walk the staircase back down. Which did you do? We did the trail back down. Okay. Because the staircase, it looked like it was tough on your knees going back down.
Yeah, because you work different muscles going up and then going back down.
Yeah, and it looked hard to go back down, honestly.
And then tell everyone what you did after your accomplished stair journey.
After that was in preparation to get my appetite going, because me and Nolan also decided that it was a good idea to enter and try to complete a food eating contest. And so what the contest was we prepped for the hike, we did the hike, and then came in really hungry. And the challenge was to eat a 3-pound grilled cheese, which was actually 3 grilled cheeses on Texas toast and 6 slices of American cheese in each grilled cheese. So 18 slices of cheese. And then inside those grilled cheeses were mac and cheese and cheese curds. So it was a recipe for indigestion for sure.
But then it also came with tater tots and French fries.
Yeah, and
on
then
the side.
2 pieces of like thick, like Texas toast.
Yeah.
So I'll give you a little recap on it. I pounded the first grilled cheese in a couple bites. I was like ready to go. I was so hungry too, so I just was like, all right, I'm gonna eat this grilled cheese. And then second one, I was like, I ate the whole thing, but I was like, all right, my body does not want more cheese. And third one, I got about 1 bite in, and I was like, no, thank you. My body was just rejecting it after it. Yeah. So I tried to eat the fries and the tater tots going forward, and my body was just saying no. Like, it was just alarms going off in my stomach. Like, if you do this, you're gonna ruin the rest of your day, if not the rest of your weekend. And So I eventually tapped. My buddy Nolan did better than me. And he can eat more than I can too. But I was surprised he didn't finish either. So the cheese got to us. And the weird thing is I wonder scientifically if you can get like drunk off of cheese.
Oh my god.
But I felt goofy for like 2 hours after I ate it. Like I was like giggly and I was like not acting like my normal self a little bit.
No, he was being abnormally nice, especially to me. And he's always nice to me, don't get me wrong. But he's like, I don't know, flirting with me, telling me I look beautiful and asking me what I want to do the rest of the day. I'm like, are you okay? Like, you don't know. I don't know. Me and his roommate were like, dude, are you good? Like,
yeah, the cheese was crazy. The cheese got to me good, and it might have gotten to my brain as well.
yeah, it was a lot. For those of you watching on YouTube, I will post the pictures of the boys before and after. It's pretty funny. I don't know. It doesn't sound like a lot, but they actually had a mountain of food. It was a lot.
It looked easier because I've seen people do it on YouTube videos.
Yeah.
And you see people do it in 10 minutes, and you're like, oh, I could totally do that. Like, that looks easy. And they are special talents out there.
Yeah, you have to look it up. It's the Swinkies Grilled Cheese Challenge.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny. I mean, I was excited. You and Nolan have been talking about doing this challenge for a while now, or at least some sort of eating challenge. There's a few in Denver. I know you're thinking about like the pho one or the pizza one.
Yeah, I don't know what got into me thinking I could do an eating challenge.
And it's just so close to our house, so I think you guys just went with that one. But as someone in the peanut gallery, we were just watching them, and it's so anticlimactic. It's honestly quite sad.
You just start getting tired and down on yourself, and you're like, this sucks. Why am I doing this?
They're not even sitting down. They're pacing up and down the restaurant.
Trying to burn the calories, which
And
didn't work.
it was sad to watch. I mean, I believed in you guys, I did, but I also knew what was gonna be happening after, and I just felt bad.
Like, the feeling of like overeating is so uncomfortable. And when you're trying to push your body to eat more and more, and like your body's actively rejecting what you're doing, is a terrible feeling, and it just made me feel sick for like hours afterwards.
Yeah.
So I don't know, maybe I'll try another. We'll see, I don't know.
I don't understand the reasoning behind doing those. Personally, I don't. But
well, I did one. Me and my friends did one at Bloomington, Indiana once, and completed it, and it felt good. I didn't feel great, but I was like, that was cool. I got my picture on the wall.
yeah, I guess it's more of a, I live to tell the tale type of thing.
Yeah, this one I failed, so I did get my picture on the wall, but it's on the wall of shame, not at the wall of fame. Which is unfortunate because I was also wearing a Packers jersey. Repping the cheese, but couldn't get it done, which is sad. How about you? Tell me about your weekend.
I mean, I was there for that. That was quite the scene. Other than that, I was at my brother's graduation all week, so I was in Boulder.
It's awesome.
It was crazy to be back when, a year ago, I was in his position, but it was really nice to see. My family came in, being in Boulder is always great. It was totally pouring the 3 days we were there. So the first graduation, the main graduation, is on Folsom Field, the football field, and there's obviously no covering. So we were just sitting during the main graduation for like 2 hours, soaking wet and cold.
It rained so much.
It rained a lot.
Thursday, Friday.
I've lived in Colorado for 5 years now, and it has never rained 3 days straight like it did.
Yeah.
And of course it was over his graduation. But I mean, the kids really were champs about it. They all were smiling and still super happy and made it a good time. No one was, upset about it. It's definitely will be memorable for them and also the people that went to it. And then thankfully his second graduation was inside the basketball stadium, so it was a good time. good to see family. Pretty low key compared to your weekend, I'd say. But
Nah, I mean, it's not like I did anything special.
and then we went to a Rockies game. So Rockies games are, I guess they've been back, but we went to our first one yesterday of the season. They did lose, unfortunately.
Yeah, I love going to Rockies games.
It's always fun to be outside and in that atmosphere.
Yeah, they have a really nice stadium too. You can kind of see the mountains in the background, which is awesome. And tickets are mad cheap, especially when you live really close to the stadium.
Yeah.
You can kind of walk over there and just grab tickets after the game started. It's a good hack.
Not much going on. But this week we do have a new topic for you all. We wanted to kind of get into our personal routines. I feel like that's something we, at least me, I started this year more, and I think it's been super helpful through this transition of coming from college, graduating, and becoming an adult. So I kind of wanted to touch on it and pick your brain, pick up my brain, and see, the differences of our routines and why we find it important and what we like, what we dislike about them. Kind of getting into that. What do you think?
To start off, I guess, my opinion, I'm a seriously routine-oriented person.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like I've kind of had a routine like my entire life, and I've been sticking by it a lot. And when I get off the routine, I start to go crazy a little bit.
Yeah.
So to get more in depth in that, I think I have a routine of, wake up and I eat breakfast. I don't know the last time I missed breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of just there for me, and I need that to get everything else done. I have to eat in the morning.
It fuels you.
Yeah. I know there's a lot of people who don't have to eat in the morning or can just, drink a coffee or something. I gotta eat a full breakfast.
Yeah.
And coffee. And so then, obviously work, do whatever I'm doing throughout the day. And I think after that is when I have to, go to the gym, get active, do something active.
Okay.
And that kind of resets me into more of a relaxing mode after the day's over. It gives me energy, and it allows me to catch up with myself after a day has gone by, catch up with myself, figure out what are the other things I need to do. It's kind of a good thinking space for me, I guess. And then I'll do whatever I want to do at night, but I think those three things that take up, I don't know, a good majority of my day are what has been in my life for whether it was school in the middle, it was always breakfast, school,
right, it's always something.
active, yeah. So that is my routine. That's been my routine for most of my life.
Yeah.
And I think it's working for me.
Yeah, I get that. We've always had something in the middle. Like you said, it was school before, and now it's work.
Mm.
So that was kind of our structure, our routine every day. I guess for me, my morning routine is definitely, actually, I don't know about that. I think I definitely have more I do in the morning to prepare me throughout the day than I do at night.
Yeah.
But I do have two separate routines, and I love them both. And for me, I know you said you kind of had it throughout your entire life. I definitely have had a routine, but it does change a lot, just depending on, the phases I go through life and how I'm feeling, what I prioritize, and I guess my goals. And right now, I wake up, I make my bed immediately. That's my one thing. I always need my bed made. I just feel like that one thing makes me feel so productive.
Yeah.
And I'm also kind of a clean freak, and especially about my room. My room is my space, so I need it to all look clean, put together, and it makes me feel, organized and put together myself, which I know sounds kind of weird. Why would your room affect you? But it really does. I love
But
going
it also starts off your day in an organized way. I think.
Yeah. And I've done that since growing up. And I know, some people are so into making their bed and some people are not. Like you. Not to call you out, but
I don't make my bed ever.
my parents, of course, it always starts with your parents telling you, make your bed, make your bed. And that was so important to me. And I just feel good when it's made. And my room looks so cute.
So I get that. My thing with making the bed is, it's been like this since I was a kid. Like, why would I make the bed if I'm just gonna get it like messed up every night?
I understand that, but you go to bed, 10 hours after you already wake up, or even more? I did that math really badly, but you get what I'm saying. Why would you leave your bed undone for that many hours in the day? You know what I'm saying?
I just don't even notice.
Again, it's a routine thing.
Yeah.
So for me, it just has been planted into my brain since I was young that I kept going.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, it just makes me feel clean and organized. That's why I like to do it. And how great is it to come home, long day, your bed's made, and you just get to wreck it and get cozy, and it feels good.
Fair enough.
That's my take.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. I mean, it makes sense. It's just a preference thing, I think.
But yeah, that's the first thing I do. And then obviously I'll go wash my face, brush my teeth, that whole shebang. And after that, I'm not like you. I do not eat breakfast every morning. I do wait. I kind of intermittent fast, so I wait for my first meal until 11 a.m., sometimes noon, depending on how I feel. But I do drink tea. It used to be coffee, now it's tea. But it's something warm in the morning, wakes me up. I can't drink caffeine anymore, so I changed to tea, uncaffeinated tea. And it just makes me feel warm, and it really does wake me up. So that's something I guess I switched out from coffee to tea. But it's like my time just to sit alone and decompress, kind of wake up, and I don't know, in a way, get ready for the day. After that, I journal every morning. I have a whole routine of journaling too. So I have my 5-minute journal, which for those of you who don't know what that is, it's a journal you can buy, I believe in most bookstores, but also Amazon. And it already has prompts for you, so also those of you that want to get into journaling, it's great. I highly recommend it. And I think it starts with, name 3 things you're grateful for. So I usually say my family, my job, and lives. Depending on how grateful I am each day for those things.
Yeah.
They definitely change around. Then it goes to your affirmations, which, you say, I am brave, I am strong, I am intelligent, whatever you're feeling, kind of you're missing in the morning. You know, if I'm feeling like, today's gonna be a long day, I need to get ready for work, you want to say you're smart. Something you're missing in that moment. And then, what else does it do? I guess, so the half of it is the first morning, and then you go back to the journal at night and fill in the rest, which is affirmations again, and what 3 things you did today that made you happy. So that's part of my journaling routine. Then I do my manifestation journal, and then I do my 10-minute, I don't even know what I call it. It's kind of just an open book. Whatever I'm feeling like writing, I'll just write for 10 minutes straight. Won't take off my hand off the page and just go. Let my mind kind of just think and write, whatever. It doesn't always make sense at all. It's kind of my way of getting all of my thoughts out on paper and putting them somewhere safe. Then after that, I start work and do my whole work routine, go through meetings, work. I'm getting really into depth about this. After work, what do? I guess we go to the gym. We go work out. I come home, I cook, and clean up, kind of do whatever I need to do. I guess once a week I'll call my mom or my friends, and then I go to bed. And my night routine is Sometimes I meditate if I'm feeling like it or feel like I need it. It's been something that's really hard for me to put in my routine, but I can get back to that. I usually shower, obviously, or take a bath, depending on my mood. And then I journal again. And I try to put my phone down before I go to bed, and then I go to sleep.
So, why is all that like important to you? What?
Yeah.
If you can rattle off like what you do on a typical day, that means you do it pretty often. Like you do it all the time, and so then why are those concepts and those ideas like important to you? What?
So I've built my routine throughout years, and it's always adding on things, which I think is helpful. Because I know building routines can be really tough. And what's helped me is, one, consistency, which I know is cliche, but it is. You know, if you do it every single day, you'll find yourself relying on it, kind of like how you said, if you're traveling or, you know, you're out of town, you're have an off day and you just didn't do anything in your routine, you kind of feel off.
Yeah.
It gives you that structure and makes me at least feel productive when I accomplish my routine and do it from start to finish. I guess for the things that I do, I just find myself loving to journal. It's a way of me, again, getting all my thoughts onto paper in different ways too. So I thought that was something I really loved to do and made me feel good, so I wanted to add that into my routine every day. Same with the coffee/tea, something warm, and it's like my second just to sit alone before my day starts. Kind of check in with myself in a way too, in a different way than journaling, where I'm just silent and you can just process everything, see how I feel when I wake up, see kind of what mood I'm in. You know, if I'm super energetic, great. If I feel really tired and off, I'll be like, okay, wonder if I can fit in a nap today, you know. It's kind of my check-in with myself, just to sit there for a second and also just enjoy a cup of tea.
Yeah.
And then what else? Working out. I mean, we have a whole podcast on why that's important to me, but just to move your body, especially because working all day, I don't really move much.
Yeah, I get it. I think as far as routine goes, it makes me feel healthier kind of going through, like sometimes, I don't know, the way my brain works is I need to like check the boxes during the day.
Like a to-do list, yeah.
And I check the same boxes every day,
Right.
but I think, you know, having those boxes checked makes me feel better. And I know like these things are good for me. As long as I do these things, I'll have had a decent day.
Or feel productive.
Yeah,
too.
I like feel good about what I did today.
Right.
So I think like those pillars that I try to work into every day, if I can knock those out, I feel like, all right, that's like a structure to a productive day, or like a structure to a day that I know makes me feel good.
So, kind of going off of that, I, this year especially, really wanted to work on my routine and, you know, carry that on throughout the rest of my life. And I did start the year having an app. I forget what it was, but it kind of is exactly what you just explained, where there's different categories and, you know, you write down all the things of your routine that you do. So for me, it would be drink water, drink tea, meditate, journal, affirmations.
So did you use that to try to get into a routine?
I did, but I
Because I do
found
feel like
myself,
when I met you, you were having trouble with getting yourself to be consistent about the things you did every
right.
day.
And I thought that would help me to be consistent about it, you know, because it would blow up my phone being like, okay, you know, it's already 10 a.m. Did you already do these things? But it did help because I, you know, it brought some structure and reminded me of what I wanted to do. But at the same time, it really caused some stress because let's say I didn't get to meditating that day and that box wasn't checked and all the others were, I would feel not mad at myself, but just kind of disappointed, you know, I didn't get to that.
Yeah, you'd focus on the failure.
Right. Instead of all the other boxes I checked, I would
Yeah,
only
gotcha.
focus on that.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. So I think that's a good way to get started, though, I think.
It is, but it's also so, at least for me, it was too much.
Gotcha.
I didn't want to focus on the bad, and I think that's what my mind was looking at.
Yeah, I think that's natural, too.
So, I mean, it did help me start it, and I want to say, for me, if I don't get to one thing, it's okay. You know, let it be. Each day is so different.
Yeah.
You don't need to do every single thing every single day.
Yeah. I get that, yeah. I think just having like a few different things that you want to get done every day
Helps
can
with
be
consistency.
help with the structure.
If you guys love gold jewelry as much as I do, you have to check out Slide Jewels. Slide Jewels is a jewelry brand that crafts contemporary and affordable pieces from high-quality stainless steel. From earrings, necklaces, rings, and bracelets, Slide has pieces for everyone. Use code TOSOMEEXTENT to get 30% off your purchase. Links and promo code will be in the show notes, so check it out.
Alright, yeah, so I want to touch on, one thing I want to get into is, how do you feel when you get out of a routine that you've been in? Like, so with, I guess an easy example is like traveling, or, yeah, I guess like going somewhere that you're not used to, living out of a suitcase. It's hard to stay in a routine like that when you're not.
Yeah.
Don't have all the, I guess, don't have the access to all the things you do when you're kind of at your house and kind of just going through the flow.
Yeah, that's a good question because it obviously is something that happens often. I mean, I travel at least once a month too, so I guess I try to bring the things I can, like my journals. I guess tea you can kind of get anywhere, like some warm beverage, and I don't know, I guess I do feel really out of it and not as productive, and obviously you're missing that structure. But at the same time, when you're traveling, I try to remind myself, you're not at home, so you're already not sleeping in your own bed. You're already not cooking yourself meals, you're already not doing half those things.
Yeah.
I try to not get so like butthurt about it, I guess, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because it's hard.
No, I know, I get it. I think one thing that I always struggle with, and it's something that's really small, but then it ends up throwing off my whole like mindset. I think is like I have trouble drinking a lot of water when I travel,
Yeah.
and I don't know why, but if I don't because I try to drink a lot of water when I'm, in my normal daily routine, but when I travel, it's just not on my mind as much and not as accessible maybe because I'm not like always by a fridge or something. And so it throws me off, and I completely just start thinking about other things like, I haven't drank very much water today. Like, also I haven't done this.
Yeah, you always feel different too. You get a headache or you feel dehydrated. Really.
Yeah, and then it kind of just throws me off totally.
I know. I was talking to someone's parent, maybe at graduation, and they were just mentioning your generation, you kids always have those big water bottles. You're always carrying them around. I'm like, but that's a good thing. It's not like, I don't know, something bad for you. We are staying hydrated. Those Hydro Flasks, or you have the Yeti, those Stanley Cups,
Yeah. No, that is good though. It did make drinking water cooler.
And, I mean, it's always just right there. Like, my cup's literally right there.
Yeah.
I just feel like that's a good way to keep it going when you're traveling, is just bring it with you.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it's super handy to have those too.
Going back to what you were saying, I do feel definitely off when I'm not, doing everything I want to do in my routine, in my daily day-to-day, when I'm traveling especially. But it does, I find myself loving coming home specifically to get back into my routine. Like, it feels so good getting back into it, which I love, and I feel like that shows how important my routine is to me.
Yeah. No, it does, and I can't live out of my routine too often. it kind of got that way with me a couple weeks ago when I was just traveling too much, and it messes with my, whole, I guess, mindset, and I just start to think like, oh, I'm so happy to go back and just be like in a routine again, and just kind of like checking off the boxes and stuff.
Right.
And I know not everybody's brain works like that, but that's how my brain works, kind of, is just like, I know these things feel good for me, so when I'm out of touch with those things for too long, it starts to just, I guess, like mess with my head. I start thinking about it. I don't feel the same way as I do when I'm not doing those things, so I think everybody's different,
Yeah.
but that is kind of how my brain works, in terms of like just being off the routine for too long.
I feel like routines can tell you a lot about a person too, and they're so individual to each person themselves,
Mm-hmm.
Your routine won't fit my life. My routine, vice versa.
Yeah.
So I think that's something so cool. And honestly, I see it as a form of self-love or self-care, is building your own routine and having that for yourself.
Yeah.
And also, I know I went into depth about mine. A routine could be something so simple, like brushing your teeth each day, or
Yeah. Well, I think it's a good, like, starting with one thing
right.
is a
And
good way to
building
get it going.
That's exactly how I did mine.
Yeah.
Growing up, it was always brush your teeth, make your bed. That's like the basics, and then you build off that. I got into skincare, start doing my makeup each morning, you build on it, and again, you figure out what really matters to you, which I think is important to get to know yourself and know your daily life. And I really think highly of routines and think it's a great thing. I also love, this is maybe just a me thing, but the podcasters I listen to, I like to hear about their routines, even if, it's nothing that has to do with me. I just think it's interesting learning about other people's routines.
Yeah, maybe
and
building off of adding some things in.
Yeah, just seeing how, I guess, their view of it and what they do each day, each morning to get themselves
Gotcha.
up and going, or happy, motivated,
Mhm.
I think it's cool.
Yeah, no, it is cool, and you can build off those routines. You can find good ideas off of those routines that you can kind of piece together, add in your own life, modify a little bit. Like, one thing I'm not very routine with is like cooking, and I think like I try to cook as much as I can, but sometimes I don't schedule in enough time for
Right.
myself to cook, and so I will probably end up looking for inspiration to like get more cooking routines done, because if I don't have enough time, I just eat chicken rice,
Yeah.
and
Your
chicken rice is
favorites?
fine. It's fine. It does the job, but I could definitely expand my palate a little bit sometimes.
This is hilarious because our friend group really does give Lex a lot of shit for his chicken and rice.
Yeah.
We literally make jokes that Lex only eats chicken. You only
Yeah.
eat chicken. Which I know isn't true, but it's just so funny
It's
anytime we
close.
talk about it.
Chicken and rice is easy. It's accessible, and
No, I totally understand.
it works for me. So.
I just laugh every time because I imagine like your roommate being like, "Oh, there's the chicken again."
Yeah.
Anyway, going back to, I think we talked about our daily routines. Is there anything you do in your weekly routine or monthly routine?
That's a good question. I would say, well, weekly, I think reaching out to my friends is something I try to do. It can be tough, but I do definitely try to do it like a little bit, just reach out and see how they're doing. It's a good way to be like, all right, like the last week I didn't reach out to any of my friends. Like I
Right.
should reach out to some of my friends this week.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a good way to just kind of keep on top of it. Monthly, I don't know if like routinely. I think one thing I would try to do routinely, but it's not like scheduled out. I don't know if like this is technically a routine or not, but one thing I just try to do consistently is just like get outside. Like I like to do hikes and stuff out in Colorado, but if I'm not in Colorado, just kind of like get outside
Right.
and like go out and I don't know, like even a walk or something. Like I just need to get outside more, and so like that's one thing. Maybe even a weekly thing is just like getting outside.
I was going to say I just listened to a podcast about how important it is to even just feel the sun or like the fresh air each morning, and that's something I do want to start putting into my routine.
Yeah.
Because I'm really lucky I have a balcony, so it's so easy. I don't need to like go all the way downstairs and then go outside and go for a walk. I could have my tea outside, you know, and hit the sun and feel it. And I guess it's a really natural but good, healthy way to wake you up and, you know, show your body it's the morning time, your day is about to start. That is something.
Yeah, sometimes I think you gotta treat yourself like a plant.
Literally. I mean, we kind of are.
Yeah, like we're just as alive as a plant is, so I think.
We just as amount the basics, sunshine.
Yeah, it
water,
sounds stupid, but if you get enough water and you get sunshine, you're usually in a better mood.
Oh my god, even Denver's been again really rainy, as we mentioned earlier, and it was so sunny all last week, like beautiful, I guess 2 weeks ago, really. And I thought that was here to stay for the rest of spring, summer. But I do really see myself being so much more lively and happier, especially when I'm tan. I love being a little color is a confidence booster for me. But what's something that you want to add into your routine, I guess, if anything? Or is this just, you know, in stone? You don't want to move it, you don't want to touch it.
I don't know. It works. Right now my routine works for me.
Yeah.
And I haven't thought about adding anything into it too much. I don't know. I always like, I do try to add like kind of like the journaling stuff sometimes, but then journaling never really stuck with me.
Yeah.
So like, there's a lot of things that I could try, that I have tried and just haven't stuck.
Mm-hmm.
There's like these core things that have stuck, obviously. So I think it's sometimes adding things in can be trial and error type of thing. It's
I
like,
agree.
I'm gonna try this. Let's see if I like it. Let's see if it sticks.
Right.
I tried journaling. I think I did it for like 20 or 30 days, and it just kind of fell off after a while. So I don't know. It's something it's something I should think about for sure.
I think it's okay. Again, I don't like to get mad at myself if something doesn't stick or doesn't work. I look back at my life the past few years at least, and you know, meditation was one thing I did last year every single day. I kind of relied on it, honestly, and it made me feel so good. But for some reason this year, it hasn't been serving me like it did in the past. I just was trying to figure out why it didn't work in my routine anymore. And, you know, sometimes it doesn't serve you anymore. It doesn't work. It just isn't what you need, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Which I think is important to acknowledge, and, you know, it's okay to, like, not have that. So I'll do it, like, probably twice a week, but it's not an everyday thing anymore.
Well, routines can be weekly, too.
Yeah, true. I guess you're right. I just was curious if you had anything.
Do you?
That I want to add?
No.
Yeah, again, I really like learning about other people's routines. So I'll steal stuff if, like Edie, on Edie's podcast, she talked about slugging, which is putting like Aquaphor all over your face before you go to bed. I've started that since we talked about it, and really texted her like all the time, you know, why it's good for you and how it makes you feel. And I've seen a lot of difference in my skin.
Okay.
So I guess that's in my skincare routine now, but it's something I added that I actually like doing, especially in the summer with, you know, and in Colorado, it's so dry here.
Yeah.
I'm always dry, so it helps my skin a lot. And then in the summer, I'm sure we're gonna get a lot of sun, or at least I hope.
Yeah.
So just protecting.
I guess one thing I recently just added was I just started taking like multivitamins every day.
Oh yeah.
Which I like.
Vitamins, yeah.
Which I never really took. I would be off and on with them because they're kind of expensive.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to buy them all the time. But if you go to Costco and you buy them in their like big packages, they last a pretty long time.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, you know, that was something I was just like, I think I should start taking these all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So now I take them all the time. You know, I don't notice the difference, but I think it's okay. I think it's good. I don't know.
I do take vitamins
We'll
every day too.
Yeah.
That's a part of my routine I hate though. I honestly hate it. Because mine are all pills and I hate taking pills.
You know, I just use the gummies.
Yeah, no, mine, I don't know. I take a lot of them too, so.
Yeah.
But
It's, yeah, I think, I don't know, vitamins are, you can take as many as you want, I guess. It's just whatever works for you. And I think I'm not sure why exactly I started wanting to take them again. But something in my head was just like, you should start taking vitamins again.
the gummies taste good too.
Yeah, it's super easy.
At least you're not like choking down pills.
I know, true. That would feel more like I'm taking vitamins than the gummies, which just kind of feel like candy, but.
Yeah. Okay, one last question for you. Is there something in your routine, whether that's weekly, monthly, daily, that you love doing and you really look forward to every single day?
Let's see. So I look forward to going to the gym all the time.
Yeah.
Just because I know how it's going to make me feel afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a great question. When I wake up, I'm so looking forward to coffee.
You do love your coffee.
But I also, here's something I switched around in my morning routine. I heard on the Andrew Huberman podcast that you should drink coffee, like if you're going to drink coffee, drink it like an hour after you wake up. Like wait at least an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I don't know, Andrew Huberman can explain this much better than I can, but something's going on in your brain where the coffee after, like the caffeine after an hour will allow like your brain, I don't know, to fully maybe like wake up or something goes on in your brain. Listen to the podcast if you can, he'll explain it better. But then you kind of avoid the crash at like 2 o'clock, 2 o'clock, the crash of coffee because I guess just the reaction that it takes in the brain. So I started to wait an hour before I consumed any coffee.
Do you feel any different?
Yeah. I mean, I think I feel better throughout the day. It could just be because I'm taking in caffeine later.
Right.
And maybe it's just lasting the same amount of time, but I don't know.
This could be so wrong, but I feel like too, when you're waking up and instantly drinking coffee, you're kind of relying on it. You're not even giving yourself a second to just wake up naturally. You know what I'm saying?
That makes sense. I think, yeah, that's true because you do want to let your body get into. I honestly don't know too much about this, so I don't want to give any false
But
information.
then I guess like the drink of coffee is more enjoyable too because it's not something you're relying on. You can actually just enjoy it too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I look forward to it. Like when I wake up, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna drink some coffee later. That's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
Because it gives you a little bit of, it gives you energy boost. It makes you excited, I guess.
It's always something warm too, and it tastes good.
Yeah, I know. It tastes great. So that's something I look forward to in my routine.
Mm-hmm.
And I could do a whole episode on coffee and caffeine, but I don't think it's very harmful. So it's like, why not? If you like it.
It's harmful to me.
Yeah, I guess that's true. What about you? What do you think?
My journaling routine is my favorite thing to do. I really do feel just so productive, and I feel so good after I do it. That's something in my routine I know I look forward to doing it. I enjoy doing it while I'm actually writing, and I feel good after. Like at the gym, how you said, there's not every single day I feel super excited and wanting to go work out. You know, there's some days I'm like, oh, I really would love not to go, but I know afterwards it makes me feel good. You know, so journaling is something I feel good before I do it, during doing it, and I guess looking forward to doing it, and then I feel good after too.
Yep.
So
Gotcha.
that's mine. But yeah, I hope you guys liked our routines. I guess not liked it, but found some sort of insight from it, maybe.
Yeah, or not. I mean, we're just here to share.
Yeah.
I think it was good. I think because I think people do seek out looking to add to their routines.
I do it personally, so I think
yeah.
that's why I was excited to talk about mine and
Yeah,
share it.
exactly.
You know, because that's something I listen to in podcasts. And
Yeah, because you're looking to learn something, add something to your life too. So
right.
yeah, we'll see. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you think about our routines. Share some of your routines if you want to.
I would love that.
Yeah,
Let
exactly.
me know.
Might as well. Learn a little bit. That's what we're here. We're here to do is learn and be curious. So we'd love to hear from you guys. Appreciate you listening. And I don't know. You got any closing remarks or not?
No, I appreciate all the support as always. So thanks, and happy Tuesday.
Yep. Happy Tuesday.